This film was created on the unceded territory of the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh peoples. In November, Kinder Morgan, an energy company, began to expand a pipeline carrying crude oil. Over 100 people were arrested as they protested. We went to film on the mountain as Kinder Morgan began to pack up and leave the site.
No pipelines. We don't want the pipelines, we don't want the fracking, we don't want the dirty oil. We want nature in its pristine beauty as it was intended. That is the only thing that's acceptable to us.
Where do they get off doing this against such public protest? It's just not okay, no matter what little handshaky deals happen. Anger in itself is a powerful emotion, it's a powerful energy, it's not necessarily a wrong thing. So when you see your people get in very vulnerable situations and get oppressed and suffer through so much, there is a place for anger, and usually you start from there, and that fuels your action. My name is Audrey Siegel. My ancestral name is Sklemtanat, and I'm from Musqueam. We have a phrase, Netzamat Tishkwelowinst. We are of one heart and one mind, and we're working towards that now. And every day that I am on this planet, that is what I'm working towards, so that we can have a future where, regardless of where a person's from, regardless of where their ancestors came from, regardless of even what mistakes we've made in our humanness, we are one. This is the only way possible, because the only alternative, we've come down to two options. It's either Netzamat Tishkwelowinst, or it's sheer destruction and devastation. And I always choose love and light.
I'd say it's the exact opposite of apathy. Everyone here cannot be apathetic. We are all lovers of our earth, and we are all lovers of our community, and that's what brought us here, to come together and demonstrate against Kinder Morgan.
Rather than just kind of like be self-righteous about your own anger and your own miseries and your suffering being like your shield and your banner, talk about love being a power that sustains your work.
I asked my auntie once, what is our word in Musqueam, in Hunkaminam? What's our word for love? And she said, we don't have one. And I said, we don't have one? She said, we don't have one because love isn't a word, it's an action. This is what love looks like. That's why I'm here, because I love this mountain. I love everybody who's here. I love my ancestors. They're who I work for. They're the ones I do everything for. So this is what love looks like.
The future looks like, that's hard to say, because right now we're not making the decisions for that. Right now in Canada, the Harper government is setting out what the future will look like, and right now that doesn't seem too optimistic. But with demonstrations like these, and knowing that these kinds of gatherings happen all over Canada and all over the world, that brings me optimism.
When young people begin to realize and that these things are happening, and they kind of dig a little deeper, and with the help of elders and other people in the community, then we really wake up.
The youth hold a lot of power, and they actually are paying attention. So the adults have to learn to practice, to listen. The youth need to learn to speak up and say, hey, we're in this together. When we act united, we can never be defeated. And so this is the part where it requires action.
Climate change is already affecting us, and it's affecting some people more than others. Like, it's affecting countries in the southern hemisphere much more than it is affecting countries in the northern hemisphere. I would say to youth, learn.
Always believe. Keep working towards light and love. Keep working towards protecting, so we can get back to a place of being stewards of the land and caring for her in a way that isn't just addressing devastation and healing wounds that are so reflective of what have happened to all the people in the world. Because when the work we do on this land is the same work we do for ourselves. So just keep working from love and light, and keep working towards it. On your darkest days, get out there and do something good for someone else, and that really is the only way forward sometimes.